Most people don't know that Social Security is actually a much bigger issue for women than men. Why is that? Well, that is because women have a longer life expectancy than men. They live longer than men. So they're going to receive their Social Security benefits for a much longer period of time than men do. In fact, if you were to look at the number of people alive at age 85, there are twice as many women alive at age 85 than there are men. There are 3 times as many women alive in their 90s than there are men. So women live longer than men, and they receive Social Security for a much longer period of time, and it's going to play a much bigger critical role in them maintaining their quality of life the longer they live. I tell people that a husband's Social Security claiming decision is going to be the most important financial decision in his wife's lifetime. Why is that? Well, today, for married couples that are retiring and claiming their Social Security benefits, statistically, 75% of the time, the husband has the bigger benefit. So his decision about when to claim his Social Security benefits is also going to determine how big the survivor benefit is. Like I said before, women live longer than men, so husbands tend to die before their wives do. And when that happens, the wife is going to be left with only the survivor benefit check to maintain her quality of life and standard of living. Now, so the husband's claiming decision is going to have a critical impact on the quality of life that the wife has after he dies. Because statistically, it's overwhelming that husbands are going to die before their wives. That's why his decision about when to claim his benefits is going to be the most important financial decision in his wife's lifetime. Why do so many women fall into the poverty ranks or near poverty or struggle financially after their husbands die? Well, when their husband is alive, they receive 2 Social Security checks. And when they receive 2 Social Security checks, life is pretty good. Some of the lowest poverty rates for married women over the age of 65. But when the husband dies, one of those checks goes away. And many times, because the husband made a poor Social Security claiming decision, he may have claimed as early as age 62, he left his surviving spouse, his wife, with the smallest survivor benefit check possible. And many times, it's not enough. And it's not enough for her to make ends meet or maintain her quality of life. And she falls into the poverty ranks, near poverty, or just struggles financially. Husbands need to make a better Social Security claiming decision to prevent this from happening. When I say that husbands need to make a better Social Security claiming decision to prevent that from happening, well, if instead of claiming their benefit early, even at age 62, and locking into the smallest benefit while they're alive, and then leaving his surviving spouse, his wife, with the smallest survivor benefit, if the husband would delay claiming his benefits as long as possible, up until age 70, he would leave her with a much bigger survivor benefit. In fact, it would be 76% bigger than if he claimed at age 62. And by doing that, he can put her in a much better financial position, in a position to maintain her quality of life and standard of living. I want to make one more point about this, and this is something unique that I have in the book and I talk about. So when the husband and wife are both alive, they receive 2 checks from Social Security, and life is pretty good. All the problems happen after the husband dies. But if the husband could leave his wife with a survivor benefit check that was as big as 2 checks in one, that would greatly decrease the probability that the wife is going to struggle financially after he dies. Now, 75 to 80% of the time, if the husband waits until age 70 because he has the bigger benefit to claim his Social Security benefits, that one check will be as big or bigger than the combined total of the 2 checks if the husband and wife both claimed at age 62. That's incredibly important. It's like 2 checks in one. And that will greatly decrease, again, the probability that the wife is going to struggle after the husband dies. So this is what I counsel financial advisors to do with their clients. They have a married couple that's in their office and they're talking about Social Security. I tell the financial advisor to point at the husband and say, what do you want life to be like from a financial standpoint for her your wife after you die, because the chances are overwhelmingly that you're going to die first. What do you want her life to be like? And then you go on and you explain the situation. You explain the silent crisis, and you explain the survivor benefit and how it works and why it's critically important, because the husband has the bigger benefit, to delay claiming it as long as possible so he can maximize the size of the survivor benefit and prevent his wife, the love of his life, from falling into the silent crisis. In fact, in a lot of cases, women are making more money than men. So probably in the next maybe 15 to 20 years, that the situation may be reversed, right? But whoever is going to receive the bigger benefit should delay claiming it as long as possible. And if in 15, 20 years, that's going to be the wife, she should be the one to delay as long as possible. Chances are she's still going to outlive her husband, and that's still going to end up being the survivor benefit. So either way, it comes down to whoever has the bigger benefit should delay.